Hey everybody, welcome to an album in review on Tim's Vinyl Confessions. This is where I spend 3 or 4 minutes talking about an album, usually an album that's celebrating a birthday, and some sources list this date as being the date that Night Ranger's 5th album came out, Man in Motion, on this date in 1988, cover art by Hugh Syme there, and very similar cover art to Survivor's Too Hot to Sleep, which he also did, came out around the same time. I'm guessing they were done around the same time. But this is a severely overlooked album. My friends over at Fans in Motion, there's a lot of love for this album. That's why it's called Fans in Motion. That's why Josh named the page and the YouTube channel as such. This is a really good, solid, melodic hard rock album. There were no hit singles from this album whatsoever, and it's a shame. This was the last album they did for MCA, and it was the last album that they put out before they went on hiatus. And it just didn't stand a chance. MCA did not promote this album. It ended up in the delete bins fairly quickly. It's actually quite difficult to find an original CD version of this. I hope Rock Candy comes through and does something about that. But this album was the first without keyboard player Alan Fitzgerald, although Fitz does co-write one of the better songs on the album, Don't Start Thinking I'm Alone Tonight. There are keyboards on this album, but it is a lot more guitar-driven. Really gives Brad Gillis and Jeff Watson a chance to really rock out. There's some really, really heavy-hitting songs on this album in the Night Ranger sense. Title song, Reason to Be is good, really cool once it kicks in. Love Shot Me Down is a great song that mixes acoustic and electric. Halfway to the Sun, great one. And the only single that charted on this album in any capacity was the Russ Ballard song, I Did It For Love, and that was, basically a record company request that they record this outside song. Russ Ballard, of course, great songwriter, but Night Ranger had long proven they can write their own hits. Now, having said that, I don't mind the song. I think Kelly sings it really well. It's a good power ballad, but it didn't do very well on the charts. They spent a little bit of money on the video. The video doesn't make a lot of sense, but you can check it out. And Reason to Be got some airplay on the rock chart. But this album is, I think it's a lot of fans' deep cut favorites, because even though, there's nothing that leaps out at you on this album like Don't Tell Me You Love Me or Sentimental Street, or You Can Still Rock in America, song for song, it's a really good album from start to finish. Excellent production from the late Keith Olsen. It's a good sounding record. It's a little tougher sounding than their previous ones. So check this out. You've got my full recommendation for Night Ranger, Man in Motion. It's today's album in review on Tim's Vinyl Confessions. See you later.